Hi everyone, welcome back to another video of Mike's Geek Corner with your host, Mike Evanier. This time I'm going to review for you the trade paperback of Space Ghost, written by Joe Kelly, illustrated and colored by Ariel Olivetti, with cover work by Alex Ross. It was published in 2005 and it collects the 6-issue limited series that was published early that same year. Now, before we get to the little book at hand, let's go back to the 60s where it all began. As it was the era of the new frontier, television viewers were enjoying getting lost in space and boldly going where no man had gone before. This was also the era when Hanna-Barbera launched its first serious action-adventure animated show with the considerably lavish James Bond meets Tintin actioneer Jonny Quest on ABC. Despite its stellar reception, Jonny Quest folded after one season due to budgetary reasons. However, CBS executive Fred Silverman was aiming to bring the same type of excitement found on comic books to Saturday morning television, within a smaller budget, and on short-form model consisting of 3 7-minute self-contained features in which one would include segments of Dino Boy, and gathered with William Hanna, Joe Barbera, and illustrator Alex Toth to flesh out ideas for their Space Ghost concept. Toth, hot up Dell TV's tie-in and Zorro comic series, the Synchrovox animated space adventure TV show Space Angel, and Jonny Quest, was tasked with designing the look for the title character, which Silverman insisted be akin to that of Batman, after being influenced by the hype of the live-action Adam West show. Ironically, a couple of decades later, Space Ghost's look would in turn influence the look of the Dark Knight in Batman the Animated Series. Voiced by Green Hornet voice actor Gary Owens, Space Ghost was an interstellar masked and caped guardian who protected the galaxy alongside his 3 masked jetpack companions, the twins Jen and Jace, and their monkey Blip, all 3 likely an inspiration for the Wonder Twins and their monkey Gleek on Super Friends, against such villains as the insectoid Zorak, the Creature King, the Black Widow, aka Spider-Woman, the feline-like Brak, Moltar, and Metallus, who would all eventually form the Council of Doom, which undoubtedly influenced the formation of another supervillain group of another Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Space Ghost was armed with his power bands, which released different types of dashing beams and other power enhancements, while also being able to fly and become invisible by pressing a button on his belt. He had his resourceful Phantom Cruiser to take him and his teammates across the galaxy. With a frenetic soundtrack, wall-to-wall action provided by scripts from Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, who would go on to produce such cult classics like Thunder the Barbarian and Superman, and imaginative designs by Toth, Space Ghost became a hit, alongside the 2 other superhero escapades at CBS, Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles, also from Hanna-Barbera, and the New Adventures of Superman from Filmation. The show, however, folded after 2 seasons, as tighter restrictions of anti-violence were established on network's guidelines. Reruns were aired throughout the 70s, and in 1981 the series got a sleeker-looking revival, along with the Herculoids, in a 60-minute show called Space Stars, which included 2 segments of Space Ghost, 1 segment of the Herculoids, 1 of Teen Force, and 1 of Space Stars' finale. With Gary Owens reprising the role, Space Ghost, the twins, and Blip encounter new foes such as the shark like Remora, the Toymaker, the vampire Forbaloka, and Space Spectre, Space Ghost's evil version from another dimension. Space Stars lasted 1 season. Space Ghost would make a new TV appearance until 12 years later in 1994 on Cartoon Network, but this time as a host in an adult animated parody talk show called Space Ghost Coast to Coast, where such stars as Jim Carrey, Adam West, Hulk Hogan, Rebecca Romijn, Zoe Saldana, and Jack Black appeared as guests. It was a big hit and lasted 11 seasons. Space Ghost made appearances in other shows such as Robot Chicken, the Coast to Coast spin-off Brak Show, Powerpuff Girls, Batman the Brave and the Bold, with Gary Owens reprising the role, and Wacky Races. Television isn't the only medium in which Space Ghost had his cosmic adventures told. Comic books, the medium that very much inspired the character's creation, have also contributed to the Space Ghost's lasting popularity, from Gold Keys publishing TV tie-ins from 1967 to 1968, Marvel's TV Stars in 1978, and DC's Space Ghost Coast to Coast tie-in. But probably the best Space Ghost comic to come out between post-1960s and pre-2000s was the one-shot graphic novel from 1987 published by Comico, written by Thunder the Barbarian co-writer Mark Evanier, drawn by Nexus co-creator Steve Rude, inked by Willie Blyberg, and colors by Ken Steacy. This book is an absolute love letter to fans of the 60s show. Both Rude and Evanier express their passion for the show in the intro and foreword respectively, and is clearly reflected in the pages, as the creative team gloriously captures the look and the innocent spirit of the original show, in a story that finds imprisoned criminals Zorak, Brak, Lurker, Creature King, and Metallus being broken out of prison by a mysterious hooded figure who seems to know how Space Ghost operates. The eventual reveal of the hooded villain is not a bad execution, but it did make me think this could have been a neat opportunity to also give nod to fans of the '81 show. Nevertheless, it is a must-have for fans. And now for the main course. Coming off a Silver Age sentimentalized 5-year run on Action Comics from 1999 to 2004, writer Joe Kelly, along with Martian Manhunter and JLA Haven artist Ariel Olivetti, delivered an origin story for the animated hero for the first time in this off-world space opera that tells the story of an up-and-coming married peacekeeper, Thaddeus Bach, who is selected to join an elite squad called the Wrath, headed by his mentor and commanding officer, Quartermaster Temple. Though initially he is very honored to have been recruited, he becomes appalled when he discovers that Temple and the Wrath agents are corrupt and ruthless, and after finding him a liability, the Wrath home invade Bach's home, and after they render him unconscious, they capture him and his pregnant wife Elua. After they kill Elua and her unborn child, Thaddeus is left for dead in a deserted planet, where he is found and nursed back to health by a veteran hermit named Solomon, who shows him the weaponry he had created to protect this planet that ultimately also led to its doom, leaving it a ghost planet. Solomon offers Thaddeus his ship to return home and start a new life. But Thaddeus decides to use Solomon's technology, consisting of a pair of power bands, and wearing an executioner-like hood, to set forward on a path of revenge against his former mentor and his posse. After 2 Wrath members are dealt with, Thaddeus finds Temple in the planet Meridian. But before Thaddeus can administer his desired justice, an attack from the skies befalls the planet from an army of mantis-like creatures called Soranthians, who answer to the name of Sorak. With Temple fleeing and the bugs spreading throughout the planet, Thaddeus now has more than one reason to use his newfound power, especially as he befriends 2 orphan small twins, who dub him Space Ghost. So I think it's a very effective reimagining of Space Ghost. Sure, the plot is simple, but then again we are talking about a character from the simpler era of 1960s Saturday morning cartoons, who was very much an answer to what was going on in comic books and other TV shows at the time. And the series showcases the origin of Space Ghost in a vein that appropriately recalls the two-fisted romanticism of the Lone Ranger and the Phantom. There are also elements like Thaddeus Bach being an interplanetary lawman who loses his wife and child, which remind me of Martian Manhunter's origin, as well as some parallels to 1989's Hawkworld, where Katar Hall is also a rising policeman who ultimately rebels against the abusive treatment from the police force on other alien races, and as a result pays a price for his insubordination with 2 years in exile in a penal island, where a recluded alien holy man mentors Katar Hall in taking up the old form of Thanagarian fighting style, and once free, sets forward to avenge his father's death, which was plotted by Hall's former corrupt commander, Vith Rock. So using an archetype plot, Joe Kelly succeeds in making a compelling case for Space Ghost's motivation for his crusade for justice, bringing some clever layering to the characterization of Thaddeus Bach as he goes from a quest of vengeance to one of redemption. Arguably, it could be said that the real magnet of the series, aside from Alex Ross's striking photorealistic covers, is the interior art by Ariel Olivetti. His is a style that combines the caricatured realism of Richard Corbin with the vivid, bright coloring of the aforementioned Ross. The result is a very lavish look that evokes the feeling of a very cinematic DC Silver Age-like sci-fi comic and the imaginative visuals of the early stories featured in Heavy Metal magazine. I thought Sorak was handled in a delightfully very organic manner that brings to mind the Bugs and Starship Troopers. This series was very well received when it came out, and the trade paperback did very well, from being published at the time when a certain superhero origin movie called Batman Begins was still in theaters. Why this series never received a follow-up, I'm not sure. If you all know something about this, be it comments that might have come from Joe Kelly or Ariel Olivetti, do feel free to share them on the comments. I could see some fans being not too fond of the darker or more serious take on Space Ghost. I personally would have loved to see Kelly and Olivetti's take on Moltar, Spider-Woman, or Space Spectre. I do plan to cover the Future Quest series at some point, which is written by Batman 66 Stripe Jeff Parker, with Steve Ruff and Ariel Olivetti returning as featured artists, in which Space Ghost does lean comparatively more in the lightheartedness of the original animated series, though still not short on solid drama. This one's name is Captain Kerr. It'd be fun if DC were to do a multiverse type thing with their Hanna-Barbera books and have the Thaddeus Bach and Captain Kerr Space Ghosts meet. So that's Space Ghost 2005. I think it stands as a very fun must-read for fans of Space Ghost. Anyone who likes origin stories like Batman Year One, Hawkworld, Green Lantern Emerald Dawn, as well as Joe Kelly's Superman run and Olivetti's JLA run. Should all check it out. You can find it online, Amazon, eBay, or local comic book store, or Barnes & Noble. And that's my last video for 2020. It's been one tough ride this year, to say the least. May 2021 brings us a brighter outlook, and I, for one, intend to bring you more goodies. So, hope you enjoyed this review. If so, give it a like. Make sure you subscribe. Feel free to leave your comments, and I'll be seeing you soon. Happy New Year, everyone. Be safe. Bye-bye.